The 21st century has already managed to surprise people with shocking events, ranging from those that depended on human error to the most powerful natural disasters. The world ocean is no exception. Strange phenomena have always occurred in and over it, and the trend continues now. This is Infinity, and in this episode you'll see and learn what the unexplained things are happening over the oceans around the world right now. In August 2020, a 7.5 magnitude earthquake occurred near the South Sandwich Islands in the South Atlantic, generating a massive tsunami. More recently, scientists were able to figure out the source of the mysterious tsunami and understand the reasons for its occurrence. Two oddities attracted the attention of researchers. First, the epicenter of the earthquake was at a depth of 29.2 miles, although the modern science suggested that tsunami does not occur at such a depth because of the Earth's crust shocks. Second, the length of the geological fracture in this place was almost 248.5 miles, but according to specialist calculations, the strength of the earthquake was supposed to be much greater. Seismologists were puzzled and struggled to understand what really happened that day in the depths of the South Atlantic. Still, they were able to figure out that the earthquake was a series of sub-earthquakes, which is why the seismic signal was difficult to interpret. The third earthquake had a magnitude of 8.2, but it was hidden in a tangle of seismic waves that overlapped each other, according to seismologists investigating the incident. One of the seismologists at the California Institute of Technology and part-time lead author of the study, Zhe Zhai, was able to pick up a clearer earthquake signal. To do so, he filtered the waves over a longer period, up to 500 nanoseconds. Only then did the 200-second earthquake data show up, which accounted for more than 70% of the energy released during the earthquake. The unexpected tsunami covered shores up to 6,213 miles from its origin, but it mostly hit the permanent inhabitants of remote volcanic islands, the penguins. Nevertheless, strong earthquakes can pose a significant danger if they trigger larger tsunamis or hit a densely populated region of the world. Therefore, a team of seismic scientists led by Zhe Zhai is still developing improved systems for detecting such complex, hidden earthquakes in order to obtain the most accurate seismological predictions in the event of possible danger. Do you think that if such earthquakes become more frequent, they'll be able to win the status of the most dangerous in the history of mankind? Share your thoughts in the comments. And stay tuned to learn about other phenomena and strange things happening in the world ocean. A new kind of storm called an atmospheric lake was discovered by a group of scientists during research in the Indian Ocean. According to climatologists, such a storm is capable of turning into a tropical cyclone. A new weather phenomenon was noticed in the sky over the western equatorial part of the Indian Ocean. It's associated with already known and well-studied atmospheric rivers. Atmospheric rivers are long, narrow areas of moisture concentrated in the atmosphere. Such rapid flows can carry a huge amount of water, dropping it behind with a band of rain. Atmospheric lakes are characterized by the fact that they combine at some point to form an isolated, concentrated mass of water vapor. This mass drifts very slowly across the sky in areas where wind speeds are close to zero. Experts estimate that they can bring as much rain as enough for a puddle about a few inches deep and about 620 miles wide. The discovery occurred during the study of weather conditions over the Indian Ocean, namely models of rain and water vapor. The team studied satellite data for 5 years in the Indian Ocean and identified 17 atmospheric lakes that existed for longer than 6 days. They were observed at different times of the year and within 10 degrees of the equator. It's noted that these storms can sometimes turn into tropical cyclones. Powerful hurricane in the USA. Last year, a powerful hurricane struck the coast of Louisiana, USA, causing flooding due to the release of water from its banks. The hurricane, which according to scientists is considered the strongest in Louisiana in the last 170 years, was named Ida. Hurricane Ida struck the east coast of the United States on Sunday morning. Weather forecasters immediately told local media that it was the most powerful hurricane in at least 16 years. The hurricane was soon rated as a Category 4 hurricane, meaning it would cause catastrophic damage. Wind speeds during such natural phenomena reach 155 miles an hour. The hurricane tears off roofs, completely destroys small houses, and significantly damages capital structures. Category 4 hurricanes uproot most of the trees and cause flooding of the land for many miles deep into the coastlines. Typically, infrastructure damage from these storms is repaired over several weeks, if not longer. The National Hurricane Center warned that wind speeds had reached 149 miles per hour. Some coastal towns were evacuated, but despite this, Ida managed to cause some devastation in the coastal town of Grand Isle. Local residents who stayed in their homes reported that roofs were tearing off and trees were falling. Incidentally, this is not the first time Louisiana and the state's largest city, New Orleans, had faced devastating hurricanes. In 2005, the notorious Hurricane Katrina killed nearly 2,000 people. Experts predict that Ida is far more destructive than Katrina. Cyclone that sank a floating base. This incident also occurred recently. On May 13, 2021, the Joint Typhoon Warning Center issued a warning that a tropical cyclone was forming. Cyclone Tauktae originated in the Arabian Sea and was predicted to pass along the coast of western India. Already on May 17th, the cyclone reached its peak and reached speeds of 136 miles per hour. Experts immediately identified it as a tropical cyclone of the 4th category. Not long afterwards, Cyclone Tauktae reached an oil field where it tore the anchors off 3 residential and construction barges, sending them sailing uncontrollably in the middle of the storm. 2 were subsequently towed out of the danger zone, but the barge Papa 305 was destroyed by the storm. According to the captain and chief mechanic, the anchors were torn off, the barge was adrift, and the crew asked for immediate assistance. However, no action was taken by company representatives, and as a result, the barge sank, taking 22 people with it, while another 65 people were reported missing. Fortunately, 186 crew members were rescued by the emergency services. However, the cyclone affected not only offshore facilities, but coastal cities as well. The local media in New Delhi reported that by morning of May 17th, 8 people were killed and more than 150,000 evacuated in India because of Cyclone Tauktae, which struck the coast of the country. Some experts describe the intensified cyclone as an extremely strong cyclonic storm. All air flights had to be suspended. Authorities in neighboring states announced evacuations from coastal cities. 54 National Disaster Response Force teams were at work. It's difficult to predict how events could develop further, so authorities advised to prepare for power failures and to provide emergency backup power. Storm in the North Sea. The North Sea is famous for its extremely erratic tides, abundant rainfall, and fog throughout the year. What may seem like a boat ride in any other sea or ocean of the world, in the North Sea is the heroic odyssey. Only the bravest crews can challenge the violent elements, constantly trying to drown them. On January 29, 2016, the ship's passengers witnessed a powerful storm called Gertrude, during which devastating waves of water crashed down on the vessel as it struggled to stay on the necessary course. Listen to the sound of the ship creaking from the weight of the storm's resistance. Another incident in the North Sea, which occurred several years ago, is also known. On January 2, 2019, 270 containers fell overboard a cargo ship in the storm. The ship was headed from Antwerp in Belgium to Bremerhaven, Germany. At least 4 of the containers contained dangerous goods. These were highly flammable organic peroxides used in the manufacture of plastics. The coastal services of Germany and the Netherlands conducted a search with the assistance of ships and aircraft. According to witnesses, toys, light bulbs, clothing, and furniture were also dumped on the beach. This is not only a significant economic loss, but also damage to the ecology of that region. Storms at sea can be both imposing and dangerous. Some of the reasons the North Sea is so dangerous depend on its small size when compared to other larger seas. This factor, combined with tides and storms, makes the North Sea one of the most volatile seas to be found on Earth. Artificial geysers from flooding. China is one of the countries which are most prone to floods. But even dams and fortifications located throughout the country in huge numbers could not stop the next natural disaster. One of the dams in Wuhan, the capital of Hubei province, prevented the accumulated floodwater from draining as the level of the lake rose to unimaginable heights. Therefore, the authorities decided to demolish the dam. This resulted in a series of explosions of water shooting up into the air at an astonishing speed, which turned out to be an amazing sight for witnesses. This salvo probably saved the city from further flooding. Even though the water show was completely safe, as it was held strictly according to the regulations set by the authorities, that doesn't make it any less impressive and exciting. Just take a look at this footage. Of course, floods can be a truly devastating force of nature for all who are forced to face them. Floods are not some new, unexplored cataclysm, but 100% reliable structures capable of protecting huge cities and areas of potential danger have not yet been invented and implemented. Mankind tries to control huge reservoirs and direct them away from populated areas, but in the end, Mother Nature is still stronger. That's all, guys. Do you think modern science will be able to solve the problem of sea disasters once and for all? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you later.